as each team enters their rebuild or retool or whatever they want to call it, there's an initial surge of enthusiasm because you realize the team's kind of gotten to their floor. The enthusiasm is it's going to get better. The problem is it never gets better fast enough.
The anticipation and the nerves, you can feel it from those general managers.
You know what'll speed the timeline up? If you win the lottery.
Five straight wins for your Los Angeles Kings.
Starting to sound repetitive as a coach after a lot of games, which is a good thing. We're winning the right way, and it means we're moving the needle forward.
Iafallo moving in. Iafallo scores! What a goal! And the streak will continue. 6 in a row.
It's fun winning. The type of teams that we're playing down the stretch, there's a lot of desperate hockey teams that are playing, and the ones that aren't, and we're one of them, that aren't going to qualify, they got a lot to play for in a very short period of time. We've got 3 weeks now to look, to evaluate, to make decisions.
And you see the teams heading back to the locker room.
The game tonight has been postponed. You are all safe.
They're going to make an announcement soon that this game is not being played.
The NBA has decided to suspend game play.
The NBA is suspending the season.
It was almost impossible getting focused for the game. You're sitting in the locker room, every TV is turned on before the game. The Twitter is blowing up and everybody's just kind of almost focusing on that rather than focusing on the game.
I remember Todd, I have a little room separate to the dressing room that I meet before the games, and right after warm-up, Todd came in and he said, listen, he says, these guys their minds are everywhere right now.
I guess we kind of figured that if the NBA got shut down, that there's a really, really good chance that, we're going to get shut down.
We want to keep playing games, obviously. We're on a roll and we're doing some good things as a team. Will that happen? I think health of our players, of our staff, of our organization, our city takes precedent over that.
The NBA was the first domino to fall. The NHL likely will not be the last, with the NHL just announcing that they are pausing the season.
This was the necessary step for the National Hockey League.
Yeah, it's really not a surprise.
Life as we know it has changed, and that transcends sports.
We're seeing cancellations and postponements of things all over the place.
Yeah. What are the options for the NHL right now?
How long can the NHL realistically wait before resuming?
It's a tough time. It's a weird time. And it feels like it's an unprecedented time as well.
We want to get back to playing for our fans and for the love of the game as soon as it makes sense.
Everything was up in the air, and you're getting different reports and everything. We tried to stay in touch as a team as much as possible, but everything was brand new. The virtual part of it, not being around, players, whether they were able to go home or not. So lots of things changed, like I said, very quickly there. The one thing that stayed consistent was the pause and to get away and put health and safety first.
I don't think anybody ever expected to be like this. I remember at the beginning there were talk that we were going to come back and finish the season, and it could be in May.
I think players just want to know where they sat, whether they were in or out, and what the situation was going to be.
Now on Sportsnet, breaking news tonight. The NHL officially revealed the plan to restart the season moments ago.
As you can see, the overwhelming piece of information we got, there will be a 24-team tournament coming up.
It's a little sweet and sour at the same time. Obviously, you'd want to play if the format is like that. I wish we would have been there and been able to play again. But then at the same time, you get now a lot more rest, especially for us older guys. The rest, it comes in handy big time.
I think everybody took a deep breath and said, okay, we could live with that. it makes life a little bit easier when you start finding out, hockey's going to start. There's going to be no fans. We knew the lottery was coming. The different things are moving forward.
We always enjoy this night. Things feel a little bit different this time around, but nonetheless, the anticipation and the nerves, you can feel it from those general managers virtually.
You're very nervous. You want to get the best for the franchise.
So, Catherine, I already have an important development to announce. The fact that I was brought 8 cards instead of 7 means that a participant in the qualifying round of the Stanley Cup playoffs has moved into the top 3.
You're trying to figure out, okay, what are our chances now? What are our odds going forward? And the odds were that you probably went further back in the draft than moving up.
I remember thinking, God, I hope I don't see our logo.
Ottawa Senators.
We've always said if we could be in the top 3, we'd be really happy. But then you're in the top 3, right away you want to be number 1. So your competitive edge gets into it.
The number 1 overall selection in the 2020 NHL Draft belongs to a team yet to be determined coming from the qualifying round in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And that means that the Los Angeles Kings will select number 2 overall.
You start looking at what you have the opportunity at number 2, you're like, wait a minute, this really match what our organization is trying to build.
Teams die for an identity, whatever it might be. The Kings had one. You knew when you came in, they were big, they were tough, they were going to grind you, they had great goaltending, and you never got many chances offensively. You knew that. Well, the games moved and evolved, and so they got caught. They got caught with a lot of the old and having to get to the new. What I see is a complete stylistic transformation that's happened here in LA.
When I look at the LA Kings depth chart, I see a real nice mix of players that can play in different situations. A first-round pick again this year, 3 picks in the second round. We've seen what they've done in the second round. We've seen what they've done in other rounds. I really believe that the LA Kings are in a great position to move their team forward.
Plays it back for Sandin for Fagemo scores! Arthur Kaliev throws it, trickling through, he scores!
I was at the World Juniors, and the Kings had the most prospects there, and that was the buzz. It's like these guys got a lot of good talent, high-end talent. People were impressed with what the Kings had coming.
Here comes Thomas with a chance, but he scores! Akil Thomas has given Canada the lead!
Also, still, you got a guy like Drew Doughty in that dressing room, a guy like Anze Kopitar who can help those young guys come along and maintain the culture, because even if you lose, you still have a demand that there's a certain level of focus, a certain level of effort.
I follow now. Trying to get it to the front. Kopitar off the bar!
There's no better leader than a player. Coaches are the coaches, but when the game starts, they wear a suit. And you need somebody to go to practice and go to work, go to the workouts and do the work, go to the game and do some things that maybe aren't comfortable but help you win a game. And the kids see that, and pretty soon, it's just in them. They start doing it too.
It truly seems that now we start to move forward. Todd's taken that message. He's going to build on that next season. He's going to have to reinforce those points that he stressed on the system and the style of play, and then now we're going to have to move it up a level each year.
There's something to be said about the special feeling that you guys are part of something that is just starting.
Kings win the face-off. Anderson shot tipped in!
There's a magic there.